So I watched the Munsters trailer that came out yesterday, and I gotta say, look, a year ago we talked about it back on the Hat Film panel, and I didn't know too much about the month. Like I've seen a few episodes growing up, and even in my adult life or my adult years, I watched a couple episodes here and there. Nothing recently or nothing like that, but I said this last year when the news first came out that Rob Zombie was even doing Monsters. Um, and that was that. Look, we don't know what kind of movie this was going to be. We didn't know if it was going to be a horror movie. We didn't know if it was going to be a comedy. We didn't know if it was going to have that sitcom s type of feel. It looks like it has all the elements of that in this. I mean, with that being said, you have Sherry Moon Zombie, obviously. You got Richard Brake. You got Dee Wallace. Who's the other guy that I'm missing? The usuals, right? So, I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't have Ken Foree. Rob Zombie didn't get Ken Foree for this. I'm sure if Sid Haig was still alive, he would definitely be in this movie as well. DNA, all of Rob Zombie's DNA in this movie. You know, I didn't know how this was going to look, especially with Sherry Moon Zombie. We knew Sherry Moon Zombie was going to be the lead from the jump. This is a project that Rob Zombie said that he wanted to do for a long time. So this is basically like a Taika Waititi-esque situation. Um, uh, I don't know who the. It seems like the Munsters are like an individual, like they're just individually owned. It's not really owned by like a particular major studio. I'm assuming. Uh, but look, I watched the trailer. It doesn't really look like it's my cup of tea. I will say that I'm probably gonna do what I usually do with Rob Zombie movies, and that's just be very inebriated while watching it. It doesn't look terrible, but I mean, I don't know. We were gonna be able to tell it's a Rob Zombie movie. You can tell this is a Rob Zombie movie, but in a good way and in a bad way. Good way being like, oh yeah, you get your common Rob Zombie s type stuff, and it's not as extremely. I mean, again, we only this is only the trailer, guys. I'm sure we're gonna get another trailer. Possibly, I hope we get another trailer after this at some once we get closer to the movie. But in a good way, as in you got Rob Zombie showing that hey, this is gonna be a little bit silly. You're gonna have your silly, not necessarily action, but the hitting on the head, your comedy stuff. I get it. That's what Rob Zombie does. Um, but then you go like in a bad way, as in like usually with the trailers you can't really tell what the movie is even gonna be about, which is usually what it's like with Rob Zombie movies, other than obviously Halloween. Um, and look, in a bad way as well, because Rob Zombie tends to, how do I say this? Rob Zombie tends to have these movies where it starts out at a very strong tone. And he did it with Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is a perfect example. It starts with a very strong tone, whether this is going to be comedy or horror. So if you start off with a strong tone, comedic wise, and then it falls flat, it's just going to be another fucking Rob Zombie movie. Because let's face it, Rob Zombie doesn't make terrible movies, other than what was that, Salem? I think it was Lords of Salem. I want to like that movie. I look. Just on a side note, I'm not a big, I don't believe or worship the devil or anything like that. But when it comes to like the Salem witch trials and all that stuff, the witchcraft and all that stuff, I am very intrigued. I'm very interested in that kind of stuff. I just don't, do it obviously, or believe in it or worship it, anything like that, whatever. But all that stuff, I've always loved that kind of stuff. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. It's always been fun to be around and watch movies and stuff like that. That talk about it. But that's just one little side note. But that was the only movie that to me that I watched Rob Zombie where I was like, yeah, this ain't it, fam. Like this movie is it's not really that good. But he tends to have that. I'm gonna give you a strong toned movie. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna put my DNA on it. Blah blah whatever. And then the movie starts. You're like, oh man, this is really good. Hence one of the best scenes in horror history. That opening scene, the hospital scene in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, amazing. But you start off a movie strong. This movie, it seems like, go back to 31. 31 started off strong, fell flat. You go back to 3 from Hell, started off strong, fell flat. This tends to be a Rob Zombie thing. And I think Rob Zombie's 3 best movies are Devil's Rejects, obviously, is number 1. House of Thousand Corpses, number 2. And Halloween. Obviously, the first Halloween that he did. Those are my 3 favorite Rob Zombie movies that he's done. And not just my 3 favorite. I think those are the best ones that he's done. By far. But that's just my own personal opinion. Look. Munsters, to me, is a movie that I can go without seeing in theaters and waiting until it drops. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. Because, again, I like Rob Zombie. I like the projects that he tries to do. I like the projects that he takes on. This is another franchise Rob Zombie's taking on too. I mean, he took on Halloween, and there's always mixed ideas and mixed viewpoints after he was finished with Halloween, with just doing 2 movies. And no matter what went on with the second one, whether it was studio interference, which we know that happens, but with studio interference and all other stuff, Halloween 2 was just not a good movie. So, again, you did 2 movies for a franchise. One was good, one was bad. Now we're coming into Munsters. And with the Munsters, it is something you can take that chance, especially with Rob Zombie. So if this movie's good, I think we're going to see another one. And why wouldn't we see another one? It's the Munsters. It's not like they're going to kill them off. It is a Rob Zombie movie. So it's possible. But anyways, we're only talking about a trailer here, guys. We're talking about a trailer that was a 2.5 minute trailer. So let's not get too carried away. I don't want to say too much without seeing more of what this movie's actually going to be about. But right now, it seems like it's just going to be a fun, comedic, whatever type of movie. But again, it's a Rob Zombie movie, so you know me. I'm going to be fucking inebriated as fuck while watching this movie. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Are you looking forward to Munsters? Or are you not? Either way, let me know. Hit that like and that subscribe. It's your boy Corn, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is Half-Ass Pod.